So today I'm going to be doing a little cute build. It is a gaming controller stand build, and I'm going to be building the controllers too. This was quite a challenge to make, but I'm so happy with how it turned out. Yeah, I hope you like this little tutorial and you make your own little gaming controller stand. Hey lovely people, so today this little, I would say not a build, more, oh yeah, would you call it a build? It's a little decor. So it's a little gaming decor, and I figured I won't make it a speed build. I'll make it a slow build that you can sort of follow. It is quite difficult. I tested it out a couple of times, if you had noticed by like the other controller. But yeah, so I used a lot of structural stuff and structural stuff, oh my gosh. Anyway, I used a lot of structural stuff and a lot of basic shapes, and it just, yeah, so hopefully you can like understand. In this part I was like sort of trying to like figure out if it like matches. It was quite confusing, but yeah, so in this part it's kind of just like I'm just measuring out the main part of the controller. This will actually be one of the last parts that I use once I build the controller, but it's kind of like measuring it out now to show where the size will be, and the fact that once I've chosen the one that I want, I have to change the sizing, the scale of it. So here I'm just like making it more flatter so that it looks more like the base of it, but at the end you'll obviously see how much more it looks like a controller. Well, at least I hope to you guys it looks like a controller. I like tried my best. It was difficult, but hopefully this tutorial, if you want to make your own controller, this tutorial helps you. At this point I was trying to decide like what I would want for the handles where you like hold the controller, and I decided to use these pillows and shrink them because I don't know, it looked the most accurate. Like I tested with like the napkin holder, and I also tested with a shape, but this one looked the best. So you could do it, like maybe you could see if there's another way you could do it, but yeah, this is the best way that I got it done. So by the way, make sure you place the pillow on top of the square, the little cube that I added, it's the transparent one, because that way it keeps it all together, because once you actually move everything, it's all connected to that one square. So make sure you put everything on top of that transparent square, because that's really important for if you want to be able to move the controller. Once you connect everything to that square, then basically you can move it wherever you want. But also with the structural stuff, you can actually connect it onto anything that is touching the square. So for example, these pillows, you will be able to connect the structural stuff to it, and it'll stay connected to it because it's placed on top of those. This part you can see that I'm using the base for the controller. This actually like won't work. Like basically when the controller is finished building, you have to connect the structural piece onto the controller once it's done. This is just temporary, so doing this is just to have the base there already, so you know where to place it in the future when you actually have finished the controller. Do a lot of scaling, so if you've noticed, like I move things repetitively, just testing it to see how it would look, but you place it the best way that you believe is like how it should look, but make sure it's like a little bit outwards, because then that way it looks more like a controller. If you have the little handle, this is going to be the touchpad. Like if you have a PlayStation controller, this will be the touchpad part. I was just thinking about how cool it would be if Bloxburg were to add like a whole gaming like set where, you know how they brought out the new Child Kingdom type of stuff. Well, if they brought out like a gaming, like a full gaming like set where they had like the new, like a new gaming PC. Like I know they already have a gaming PC, but if they like brought out a different one and then brought out some controllers and like some consoles, that would be really cool. I would love that. Even like a monitor, like a separate monitor or keyboard. Like, I don't know. That would be so cool though. Actually, they don't have a gaming PC. I know that they have a big monitor set with a keyboard, but they don't actually have a PC. So it'd be really cool if they actually added like a PC. Bloxburg, if you see this video, I doubt you will, but if you do, you should totally add a whole gaming set. That'd be great. Everyone would love it. I just feel like everyone would. I don't know. Like, comment if you would love a whole gaming set like that Bloxburg brings out, because that would be so cool. So make sure you completely shrink this little shape, because that's how I did it, and I forgot to mention that before, that you have to shrink it completely and have it the smallest shape possible. At this point, I kind of messed around a little bit with the buttons, so just do it how you believe it should look, because honestly, it took me a while to do this part. I swear I'm a perfectionist because I spend way too much time trying to perfect how it will look. But honestly, it shouldn't even be this hard. Like, it should be easy. So don't even stress it. This part I'm using the ordinary rope, as it is a different size to the other structural. Yeah, so it's like the ordinary rope just sort of changes like the sizing, and I believe that it's better for the analog sticks. So see, I'm copying the ordinary rope on the controller and just moving it instead, because of the fact that it'll stay together if you copy it on top of the controller. At this point, you could probably just leave it as is if you want to keep it like this, if it's a bit complicated for you, or you could keep following my tutorial, but just so you know, the main part needs to be added on still. But yeah, so you can keep following the tutorial if you like. So for this part with the buttons, I accidentally messed up and didn't connect two of them. So just try to make sure that you have them connected to the touchpad, because if you don't have them connected properly, then when you finish you'll have to do the other buttons, which is kind of frustrating. So just make sure it's connected to the touchpad properly when you move it, because you don't want to make the same mistake that I did. Getting close to the end of the tutorial, and if you've made it this far and you're actually still following the tutorial, you're actually a queen or a king, whatever you want to go by.
One, two, three, four. Lullaby for you. Wake from your dream in a very sweet place. Until the dawn it brings love, love. Say goodnight, hush your bye. Starlight, star bright. It's like a dream of dreamland. Until the morning comes, love, love. Say hello, la la la, sha-da, la-da, I'm dreaming of you, do-ba, do-ba.
This part I'm sort of just perfecting it like the best that I can to make the buttons sort of like closer to each other and in like a good spot.
Journey to the green land. Until the morning comes, love, love.
Decided to make this little, like the controller, like a Sakura theme controller, and when I add the other controllers it's just sort of like a Sakura set, but you can color it however you want to color it.
I'm dreaming of you. Duba, duba, you're dreaming of me. I promise you. Just feel warm inside.
Now we're up to the part where we have to redo the base. So for this part you will have to, like, okay, so this part I was like moving to show you that it's not connected, but basically you will have to delete it and then you'll have to redo the base, but you can just connect it to everything and then resize it. Also, this is the part where I realized that I had not connected the buttons and that was really frustrating. But besides that, all you have to do is connect it and then yeah.
Star bright, it's like a dream of dreamland. Until the morning comes, love, love. Say hello, la la la. Say
All you gotta do is just scale it down to the best that you can so that it matches everything that has been built, and then just color it to the same color it was before and it'll basically all fit together. So glad that they added the Transform Plus Game Pass. It is so good for like everything that I make and I'm just so happy. Like I joined this game back in like 2017, way back when it, like in the early stages of it like being updated and everything, and I just love like how far this game has come and how much stuff has been added to it. Saying that, if you question why I have a lot of money in game, it's I earned all of that, like earned it from delivery driving, and the easiest way that I would recommend earning it is just like putting on a video or something and just like farming, like delivery driving, farming, because that's like the easiest way that I earned the money. Actually, I earned about 7 or actually yeah, about 7 million from delivering, and then when the new update came out for Bloxy Burgers, I made it to about 10 million because of that job. Like you earn so much from that job. But honestly, like it wasn't easy. I actually am at level 50 in pizza delivery and it wasn't easy. Like I said, I've been playing since 2017 and it's been a long time of me just like farming, and I had a busy life, like I have a busy life, so it's not like I can just play constantly and just like, you know, farm until I get to level 50. No, it takes time. And you know, if you are committed and you play for a long period of time and you just keep going, you will level up pretty quickly. But other than that, like if you've got a busy life, it'll most likely be a bit difficult to keep up with like trying to get to level 50 if you haven't already. But yeah, that's just like my advice on trying to get a lot of money. And you don't earn it quickly, like it does take time to earn it. Like it's not like an easy fast thing, but I have like when I first started, I used to pay for money in game, but then when I started earning a decent amount from pizza delivery, I just stopped, and I actually only ever bought bloxburgs because bloxburgs boost your moods, and it's so much easier than spending money on in-game money, on the money. Oh my god, I'm not making any sense. But you get what I mean. So like basically, instead of buying the in-game money, buy bloxburgs. Like if you want some sort of money in game and you feel like, oh, I will just buy it, don't do that. Just buy bloxburgs, because then you can keep increasing your moods, and I promise you, you'll earn so much money and it will be so much better than spending it. Honestly, it saves so much. Instead of buying 500k for 6,000 Robux, buy 25k. I don't know, buy 5,000 bloxburgs. Like it's honestly, trust me, it's Okay, doing the back of this is kind of tricky, especially with the buttons poking out, but the best thing you can do is try to make it so it's like not that noticeable and make it look like, you know, the controller. But yeah, the buttons are kind of like pokey. It's kind of a bit frustrating, but I mean, it's okay. You just gotta pretend those buttons aren't there and it'll look like a controller. At least from the front, it looks like a controller. So here is the controller finished. For the next part, I'm going to be making its stand, and I'll also copy the other controller. You can see why we need the block. It's so that we can move the controller around like a regular controller. So yeah, definitely have that block there. Okay, so for this next part, we are going to make the stand that the controllers sit on. Part is basically really easy to do. So the hard part is over, making the controller, but this stand will be a lot easier. It's sort of just guessed the height. So if you want to do this height, it's probably best to follow that height. But messed up a little bit here, so just retry it and make sure that like you can delete it off of the other pole, because if it doesn't delete off the pole, then it won't look very good. You need to try and remove the original pole that you use as the template for a temporary time. Now I'm just making the part that holds the controllers up, which is basically pretty easy to do, and I just sort of guessed where they would go, like the height, but it's pretty easy. You can just sort of guess. I did one that's sort of a little bit off of the ground, and then I did the second one which was a little bit above it, and then the top one I did basically at the top, so it is pretty easy to do. I put all of them on top of each other when I pulled them up, like with the scaling. I basically just like separated them so they're all connected. The only issue is that the pole that is meant to be connected to them isn't on it properly, so further in the video you'll see that I had to fix it up a bit, and hopefully if you already did it at the beginning when I first started, it should be easy for you anyway. But here I'm just adding the controller on. I'm moving the block a little bit away and trying to get it like perfectly to fit on top of the holder, and yeah, it looks like that. I'm just copying the second ones and placing the little mini block on top of the holder, so that way it's connected to the holder itself, because if you don't put the block on top of the holder, it's not going to connect. I believe I did not do that for the first one. I don't know why I sort of recolored the blocks. I guess I just wanted it to like look prettier, even though technically if you were to display this on anything, you need to find a way to hide the blocks. You don't really need to have them displayed because, you know, obviously it looks a bit weird, but you know, if you display it, then you can just you can just like hide the blocks anywhere. I'm just recoloring the other controllers because I want to make a little Sakura set. So you can color it however you want. If you want to make it an ugly color, if you want to make it a pretty color, go ahead. Honestly, it's like, it's so much fun. The coloring part's probably the most fun part. Here's the final product. I'm very proud of it. I think it looks really cute, and I don't know, I hope you guys build your own ones, and I hope you like this little tutorial, and yeah, just get inspired to build your own little controller set. I do wish that I could have made it smaller, but you know, it's a bit too difficult to shrink things in this game. It's just that we all know our Roblox avatars are quite small, so it'll be a bit, you know, but it's still cute. And here's the other ones that I made as well, which were earlier. I actually made these as testers. I made the pink ones, the hot pink ones, as my test, and then the Sakura one is for the tutorial. So yeah, so they may be obviously like a little bit different, but I'm pretty sure they're the same. I hope you like this video and build your own, and yeah, at this point I'm just sort of like showing you that like you can copy it and do whatever you want with it, make it ugly. It doesn't matter if you like it that way, go ahead. But yeah, I hope you liked the video, and yeah, bye.